Sophie and Natasha were two highly skilled feline spies working for the People's Kitty Republic. Their mission was to infiltrate a notorious catnip cartel that had been causing chaos in the feline world for years. The cartel was known to be led by a cunning and elusive cat named Whiskers, and he was always one step ahead of the authorities. Sophie and Natasha were both determined to bring Whiskers to justice and put an end to his criminal empire. They spent weeks gathering intelligence and studying the cartel's operations before finally coming up with a plan. One night, Sophie and Natasha snuck into the cartel's headquarters, disguised as ordinary cats. They moved stealthily through the building, using their advanced spy skills to evade the guards and avoid detection. Finally, they reached Whiskers' private quarters. They could hear him talking to his associates, discussing their latest plans to expand their operations. Sophie and Natasha knew they had to act fast. They burst into the room, surprising Whiskers and his associates. Whiskers tried to run, but Sophie and Natasha were too quick for him. They tackled him to the ground and held him down while the authorities arrived to arrest him and his associates. As Sophie and Natasha held Whiskers down, they felt a sudden jolt of electricity surge through their bodies. They looked up to see a group of armed guards standing over them, their weapons trained on the two spy cats. Whiskers smirked. "I've been expecting you," he said, his eyes gleaming with triumph. Sophie and Natasha had fallen into a trap. Whiskers had anticipated their arrival and set up a countermeasure to capture them instead. The guards quickly restrained the two spy cats and took them to a nearby cell. Sophie and Natasha tried to escape, using their spy skills to pick the lock and find a way out, but Whiskers had thought of everything. The cell was designed to be escape-proof, and the guards were highly trained and well-armed. Days turned into weeks as Sophie and Natasha languished in the cell, wondering if they would ever escape. But they refused to give up hope. They knew they had to keep fighting, no matter how hopeless the situation seemed. One night, as they were lying in their cell, they overheard a conversation between two guards. They were talking about a secret tunnel that led out of the prison. Sophie and Natasha knew this was their chance. The next day, as the guards were changing shifts, Sophie and Natasha sprang into action. They used their spy skills to sneak past the guards and find the secret tunnel. They crawled through the narrow passage, their hearts pounding with excitement and fear. Finally, they emerged on the other side, free at last. They knew they had to finish their mission and capture Whiskers, no matter the cost. Sophie and Natasha used their knowledge of the cartel's operations to track down Whiskers' secret hideout. They waited until he was alone and then pounced, surprising him with a lightning-fast attack. In the end, Sophie and Natasha emerged victorious. They had captured Whiskers and brought him to justice, despite the odds stacked against them. Their bravery and determination had saved the People's Kitty Republic from the grip of the dangerous Catnip Cartel. If you enjoyed today's episode, please consider liking the video and subscribe to be notified of freshly baked, frightfully generic stories.